My wife is divorcing me. She said she couldn't be with the Trump supporter.
Well, we got nothing to say right now. Please continue.
Told me I have until the end of the day to get my shit out of the house, get all my things. And she's changing the lock. She doesn't want me back. She said she's taking the kids away from me. Yeah. I don't know what to do.
You live in the Orlando metro area? Do you recognize this man? Have you ever had the unique pleasure of having to witness these eyebrows? If you want to help a vile man face accountability for his actions, I could use your help. Cody was feeling like a really big, strong keyboard warrior and decided to leave this comment on my post the other day. Then Cody decided to double down. We love that for you, Cody. Prior to this, Cody had been going back and forth in my comments and decided to go ahead and volunteer that he's a nurse. He also mentioned that he works at a very conservative hospital. Funny enough, I used to live in Orlando, and I happen to know what conservative hospital chain he's talking about. That would be Advent Health. But I didn't have to guess because Cody confirmed it for me. Thanks, Cody. Cody seems to think that because he's besties with his bosses, he won't face any accountability and they'll think it's funny. I wonder if HR will feel the same way. In fact, I wonder if the Florida Board of Nursing will feel the same way. Funny enough, even though he was talking big and bad, as soon as I made a video responding to his comment, he changed his username, changed his profile picture, set his profile in private, and said he was just trolling. He's not really a nurse. Ha ha ha. That's a joke. Here's the thing, Cody. The devil works fast, but I work faster. Because Cody, you silly goose, you had the people that you follow on public. So of course I had to look through it. You know, you follow a lot of medical pages and nursing education pages and a few NCLEX study course pages. That would seem weird for somebody who wasn't a nurse. So if you've had the wonderful misfortune of having to interact with Cody over here, let me know. Because men who make threats against women online need to be held accountable. I'm not scared of you, Cody.
In the Matchbox, today on our show, we are going to have Cody. Cody is from Orlando in Florida in the USA. So let's see what Cody has to say. Enjoy the interview. Hello.
Hey.
Hello, Cody. Hello, Cody. How are you?
Hey, good. How are you doing?
I'm very well. Thank you so much for taking the time so fast for the interview. Thank you.
Yeah, I know, really fast.
My God, look at the weather behind you. Tell me where you're from.
Oh my God, Orlando, Florida. I just moved downtown. Super, super, super nice. I love it. Let me see if I could show you guys. You can see or not behind me, but yeah.
Or one of the things that I noticed is that this guy is gay, complete homosexual. And I'm pointing that out because I've been noticing, and I've been noticing for a while now, that most of the men that are the most outspoken about how much they hate women are gay males. So y'all, like, although there might be a small fraction of them that don't, I'm noticing that, like, most of the males that hate women and harbor a lot of jealousy and resentment against women, and so therefore proceed to make these types of threatening comments against the lives of women. I've been noticing that at least over 95% of them are homos. Okay, that's just what I've been noticing. Leave it in the comments below. I don't know what the deal is with that, but that's just what I've been noticing more and more, and I've been noticing more content creators posting that as well. And so if you are a woman, in order to stay safe, I think I would definitely recommend that you shouldn't be around gay males either, because they tend to be the most jealous and the most hateful towards women. And a lot of them you might not even know unless you purposely ask questions to find out where their head is at, where their mind is at, what their values are. You might be surrounding yourself with gay males that literally hate women. And even if it's a gay male that you consider yourself to be friends with, how does he treat other women? Because he might and most likely harbors that level of resentment towards you, even on a subconscious level, because you got to think these males are attracted to each other. So they want to view women as competition, but they know, subconsciously that they can't view women as competition because they can't compete. They're males. You cannot compete with women. You're a male. You can't, what can you do? You can't do what women can do. So there is no competition. They know that. And so that frustration comes out as hate towards women. So ladies, be careful. If you know or have any information about this guy, or you're able to find out anything about this guy, post it in the comments below. Report him if you are in Florida, if you're able to, because this is a menace to society. Okay.
Anyway. You fucked around with your vote? Now it's time you found out. Am I the asshole for cutting off my sons financially after they voted for Trump? I, 52 male, have 2 sons, Isaac, 22 male, and John, 20 male. My wife and I have always leaned left politically, and we've raised our kids to value equality, compassion, and critical thinking. We've had countless family discussions about politics and the impact of policies on people's lives. So you can imagine my shock when I found out after this last election that both of my sons voted for Trump. It came out during a casual family dinner when I asked, "So, who'd you guys vote for?" expecting them to either dodge the question or name one of the candidates aligned with our values. Isaac shrugged and said, "Trump. His policies just make the most sense right now." John chimed in, "Yeah, he's about protecting the economy. People like us need someone who gets that." I stared at them, stunned. "People like us?" I asked. "Boy, you've never paid for a single tank of gas, let alone rent or tuition. What exactly do you mean by that?" Isaac rolled his eyes. "Dad, I'm studying business. Trump's pro-business. It's not that deep." "It's plenty deep," I snapped. "You're backing someone who's gutted protections for the environment, undermined health care, and actively targeted marginalized communities." John shook his head. "You're just looking at the negatives. He's strong on immigration and keeping jobs here." The conversation spiraled into a heated debate. I couldn't understand how they, having grown up with every advantage I could provide, could support someone who champions policies that harm so many people. That night, I thought about how much my wife and I had sacrificed to give them opportunities. I worked extra hours to cover their tuition so they wouldn't have student loans. I paid for their gas, car insurance, and even groceries. And this is what they choose to do with that privilege? A few days later, I told them my decision. "If you want to support Trump's policies, you should also live by them," I said. "From now on, you'll need to cover your own tuition, rent, and living expenses. Maybe then you'll understand the real-world impact of the policies you are endorsing." Isaac was furious. "Are you serious, Dad? You're just cutting us off because we disagree with you politically." "It's not about disagreement," I said firmly. "It's about accountability. You voted for someone who's against student loan forgiveness, so take out loans. You support someone who doesn't believe in raising the minimum wage, so get a job that pays what it pays and figure it out." John looked hurt. "You're being petty. This isn't how you change someone's mind." "This isn't about changing your mind," I replied. "It's about giving you a dose of reality. FAFO ain't just some cool hashtag you and your little friends use. It means there are consequences to your actions. Political choices have consequences. You're adults now. It's time to act like it. You fucked around with your vote. Now it's time you found out." My wife thinks I'm being too harsh. She worries this will damage our relationship with them long term. She said, "They're young. They're still figuring out their beliefs." "Beliefs have consequences," I told her. "They made a choice. Now they'll learn what that choice means." Some of my friends agree with me, saying it's a fair wake-up call. Others think I'm letting politics come between family and being unnecessarily cruel. So, am I the asshole for cutting off my sons financially because of their political choices?
Hola, 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 mis amores, ¿cómo están? Hi, my loves. How are you doing today? So I'm back with another video, podcast, and this one's super crazy. It's our first podcast on the FAFO that's been happening, especially since, or particularly since the orange guy got elected. Okay, so there are some new stories here that have recently come out that we're going to take a look at, but the world is in flames, literally. And more women are running for cover, as they should. And running for cover, what does that mean? That means staying as far and clear away from these males as humanly possible, because they are the embodiment of violence. Don't forget to smash that like button for me. Don't forget to smash that subscribe button for me. Okay. Love you so much. And also make sure to hit that bell notification so that you get a notification every time a new podcast comes out. If you haven't caught up on the last live that we did, there were some really good questions on that live. Thoroughly enjoyed doing that live. So make sure to get caught up on that live, because we talk about a lot of things, especially when it comes to, like, for example, women and the role that we play and women play when they do things like they try to be nice to males unnecessarily. They try to, they feed their children to these males, so a lot of important topics come up there that tie in really well with what we're about to look at here. So make sure to get caught up on those podcasts as well. And if you haven't gotten caught up on the previous get caught up on those lives and on the previous podcast as well, if you haven't already. Okay, so let's see what we've got here.
Fuck around and find out on a micro level instead of a macro level. There is a notorious Trump supporter that lives in my apartment building, and I have never been a fan, but I have always ignored him. I've heard all kinds of stories of some of the things that he has said to some of the other residents in the building, particularly women. And one of my neighbors has repeatedly asked me to walk her home because she has to go past this guy's porch. His deck is outside patio. And he'll say things to her. So she's always like, can you just walk me home? Just walk me to my door so I can get past this guy's patio so he won't talk to me. So he's already established himself as a menace. He was walking around with his MAGA hat all summer long. Not a fan. He's largely left me alone because I'm giving him the chilliest fuck you vibes that I can muster. Today I'm outside walking my dog, and as luck would have it, he is approaching us on the path. We're going in opposite directions, so we're about to pass each other. So I am, ironically, playing Defying Gravity on my phone, having just seen Wicked last night. Just listening to my music, walking my dog, minding my business, just about to pass this guy. And he says, "Hi there." And I just keep walking, totally ignore him. And he didn't like that. So he decides to follow it up with, "What's the matter? You don't like me?" Listen, sir, we were coexisting. I was being civil in the face of all the comments that you have made about the women that live in this building, in the face of my friend and neighbor asking me to escort her home past you so that you would not harass her. And I have shown great restraint in not saying anything to you up until today. So you're going to fuck around? Now you're going to find out. So he says, "What's the matter? You don't like me?" And I stopped. I made strong, cold eye contact. And I said, "I am not interested in getting to know you, because from everything that I have seen and heard, I am certain that I would not like you." And then I cranked Defying Gravity and I walked away. I didn't stick around to give him a chance to reply. I'm not interested in a conversation. A few years ago, I would have played the game, right? The game that all women know. Oh, I would have laughed and smiled and said something stupid or silly to diffuse the situation, to massage this guy's ego, to placate him. "Oh, no, I'm tired, or I'm busy, or, of course I like you. Why wouldn't I? Oh, you have such a cute dog," some bullshit. but I'm not playing by the patriarchal rules anymore. I'm done. Fuck it. In the words of Cynthia Erivo, something has changed within me.
That's why I'm so happy about the plummeting birth rates, because y'all keep giving birth to our oppressors. And I'm over it. Stop giving birth to the oppressors. Like, it's done. It's over with. So let's make sure to do all those things. And I think it's a good idea if we stop being nice just because we fear escalating it. You won't have to have that fear if you get yourself some weapons, some self-defense weapons, pew pew, pepper spray, and you make it visible. As soon as he starts acting any type of weird, you can open your purse right in front of him or something. Let him know what's really good. Okay. And then you could just tell him, look, I'm not interested. So, sorry, not sorry. Goodbye. Stop taping me. Bring out your camera, tape him. Make a fool out of him. Because even then, they're so emboldened. You see, he has supporters here. He has supporters in the comments that were trying to make excuses for him. So we got to put these people on blast as well. But let's stop with the being nice to them, trying to hee kiki ka 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 ka. No, that's done. That's over with. That's done, because they're violent regardless, y'all. I think it's much more effective to bring out your camera as soon as anything seems weird and start taping. I think it's so much more effective to where he won't do it to the next girl, or he'll think 2, 3, 4 times. If you have a weapon, you tell him no straight up with a straight face. And if he tries to be weird, you can open your purse nice and wide so he can see what's in there. Okay?
Oh, really? My anger is not becoming? Tough shit. Too fucking bad. The era of women trying to be becoming for men is over. It's fucking over, which was the point of my whole video. We are done playing along. Fuck you. Fuck the rules. Fuck the patriarchy. Fuck being polite. Fuck being becoming. Oh no, is this stupid, nameless, faceless boy not gonna like me? What will I do? You don't matter anymore. Men are an accessory to women. We don't need you for a fucking thing anymore. So the fact that our anger is boiling over is too fucking bad. You can live with our anger the way we have lived with your violence for thousands of years. Deal with it. Eat it. Slurp it up for breakfast, bro. Women are not interested in appeasing men any fucking more. We're gonna let ourselves go. We're gonna get fat and ugly and hairy and happy. We're all gonna be the witch. We're gonna be the witch in the woods, making fucking potions, dancing around a cauldron, hanging out, drinking wine, no men in sight.
Mom and I haven't spoken since a week before the election, and I made a video about it, and it went pretty viral for me with over 1 million views. And I got so many comments just like this one. I mean, nice ones like this, but also obviously really mean ones from MAGA. Let me give you some context on the relationship I have with my mom. When my husband and I got engaged, she spent most of the time I was engaged to my husband not talking to me. She didn't like the wedding that we were planning on having. And it got to the point that she told me that I must be faking who I am around my husband, that I must not be being my true self, because she couldn't believe that if I was being my true self, that he would want to be with me and he would want to marry me. Now, him and I have been dating for 3 years and living together for 2 years. Do you know how ridiculous it is to suggest that someone has been faking who they are through all of that? But it showed me exactly what my mom thought of me. She thought I was unlovable, because she had always found me to be unlovable, apparently. And we have never had a good relationship since that. We didn't have a good relationship before that, but I was young and naive, and I wanted desperately to have a good relationship with my mom, so I kept trying. But after that, it's been surface level at best. But as a person who is morally opposed to someone like Donald Trump being the president, I wanted to have a conversation with her. And so I had a respectful conversation with her. I didn't yell at her. I didn't call her names. I didn't say anything hateful. I just stated like, hey, these are the things Donald Trump wants to do. This is how it could affect your life. This is how it could affect my life. This is why I think it's morally wrong. This is how I feel about it. And so while everybody is in the comments telling me how horrible it is, I haven't talked to my mom for 3 weeks. My mom hasn't talked to me for 3 weeks either. Now, I have 3 kids. I can't imagine having a conversation with my kid like my mom and I had and letting that stop me from making up with them or not talking to them for 3 weeks. And so, yes, the election was like the last straw because it showed me, wow, you and I really don't have the same morals. But it also showed me you are someone who does not care still. Like, I've given her chance after chance after chance. She's done this to me so many times where she just will not talk to me, just cuts me off until I'm willing to just get over it. And I am done. And so you don't get to come into the comments and tell you, hey, this is how my relationship was with my mom. We should translate that to your relationship with your mom because it's not the same relationship. And I have a feeling it is with most people who are cutting off family members, loved ones, whoever, because of the election. It was the very last straw out of a ton of straws.
I voted for Trump. Not me, the person I'm reading. My wife sent me divorce papers. What do? I didn't even know it was possible to be served divorce papers this quickly. Oh yeah, no, it's instantaneous. Yeah, especially if you're doing the service. Okay. I don't even know what to say. I'm shocked I married somebody willing to throw away our entire life over politics. Says the man who threw their entire life away over politics. Okay. Last week we were happy. Today we're getting divorced. She won't have a discussion. She says nothing will change her mind. Good girl. Insists she is going to report my parents because they live off disability. But my dad does some cash work, auto labor, so now I'm worried for my wild family. Yeah? May you get everything you voted for. If she can report your parents for living off disability, then who's she reporting them to? The guys that want to get rid of people on disability. Okay. She wants me to buy her out of the house. We have $300K in it, plus built a 4-bay garage since we bought it 3 years ago. I can't afford that. When I told her this, as she was packing her things, she said, quote, I guess you're finally going to really know how it feels to be fucked by a Democrat. End quote.
General Motors just laid off 1,000 people. Right before Christmas, 1,000 people. They had record-breaking profits last year, but they laid off 1,000 people. Because now that Donald Trump will be back in office, the demand for electric vehicles doesn't require... the demand is low.
MAGA family, I was on TikTok Live, and a fellow Trump supporter said that all he needed was my vote. I'll never be part of the MAGA family, and that I'm black, I'll never be accepted, but he just got my vote. Nah, that's crazy.
We've had a couple of updates since then, and one of them that I think is significant is this one.
MAGA family, you know why I'm MAGA? It's because the MAGA people have done more for me as a whole than black people, my own people, have ever done for me.
It's a family, one that treats him better than the black community ever has. You know, today's a day that a lot of people spend time with their family. How is he spending today?
MAGA family, I still haven't found anywhere to go for Thanksgiving. I reached out to some people that commented on my post from the Pennsylvania, South Jersey area, and I got no reply, which kind of really hurts my heart because I reached out to like a couple people and no one replied. And honestly, I feel like I'm not going to have anyone to spend Thanksgiving with.
And I'm guessing he's looking for somewhere to spend Thanksgiving, because in the video just before this one, he posted about how he wasn't welcome at his brother's funeral.
So I'm in my car, and this guy's taking videos of me.
Casting as James Bond. Vancouver, British Columbia, noon. The time will matter here in a moment. A woman is in her car. She's parked. She's about to go into a cafe when she notices that a man has walked up to her passenger window and is holding up his phone as if he is recording her or taking pictures of her. So she rolls down her window and says, are you taking pictures of me or recording me? And he's like, yes. And she said, it appears that he's been drinking. So she starts recording.
So I'm in my car, and this guy's taking videos of me.
Casting as James Bond.
You said you're drunk today because it's your day off.
He's drunk.
You're drunk.
She's mad.
You're taking a video of me in my car.
I'm not. It's pointed at me.
So why don't you delete it? You said you're taking videos of girls.
I'm not taking videos of girls.
You were taking a video of me.
Yeah. I didn't even classify you as being a female.
I'm not a female?
I didn't classify you as that.
Okay, well, I'm a female. So who are you taking videos of around the city?
I'm taking videos of me.
No, you said you were taking a video of me.
I'm not taking videos of females. I'm not ugly, so I don't need to go.
I didn't say that, but
you're implying that.
Delete the photos and the videos of me, please.
This is a video.
You didn't ask for my permission.
I didn't.
So I'm taking your video. Do you like it?
And you can keep that.
Oh, okay, thank you. Yeah, well, I want you to delete the videos you have of me in my car.
Well,
did you not take a video of me?
I didn't take a picture of you.
You did take a video of me?
I had the video.
Well, why are you taking? You know that as women, that makes us feel very like we don't. As women, that doesn't make us feel good. You know that, right?
Yeah, I understand.
Do you understand?
Yeah, I do.
Like as a woman, like with men.
Yeah, I do.
It's really not okay.
Yeah, I volunteer in the women's shelter at the UGM there too.
Oh, you do? Well, I think that you owe me an apology, and I think
battered women's shelter.
Oh, you do? But
I
those,
do.
Yeah, then you should know better.
I do. I do.
Women don't want their video taken. They don't want to be followed. They don't want men looking into their cars.
Hey,
okay?
I'm by a female.
Okay. It's not appropriate.
Well, I'm sorry.
And you shouldn't go around taking videos of anyone without their permission.
Well, I'm not.
Okay?
Yeah.
So,
I'm not posted.
It doesn't matter. I want you to delete it. You don't get to keep my image or my photo of me.
That's fucking fair.
Yeah, that's fucking fair. And you work at a women's shelter? I'm terrified.
I volunteer at a women's shelter.
You shouldn't. You shouldn't volunteer at a women's shelter. And you're drunk. I can see the beer in your hand. Day drunk. Maybe you should get sober and not go around taking videos of women. Okay? Do you understand?
Yeah.
Yeah. Have a nice day. Can you delete it? Can you delete it, sir?
Yeah, but...
What shelter do you volunteer at?
Huh?
What shelter do you volunteer at?
At the women's shelter at UGM.
UGM. Okay. What's your name?
Robert Martin.
Robert Martin?
Yeah.
Okay. Bye, Robert. Please delete it. Please delete it.
Do you want to see my ID?
No, thank you.
Now, she stopped recording at that point, but unfortunately it didn't end there. She thought he had got...
Robert Martin?
Yeah.
Okay. Bye, Robert. Please delete it. Please delete it.
Do you want to see my ID?
No, thank you.
Now, she stopped recording at that point, but unfortunately it didn't end there. She thought he had gotten the message. She got out and went into the cafe, and he followed her, which made her very, very uncomfortable, so she told staff, and they asked him to leave, and he refused. He said, no, I just want to talk. I just want to talk. So she asked them to call the police, and they said, sure, and they called the police. And he got frustrated about that, and finally, eventually walked out. So she gave him a minute, and then she exited as well, and when she did, she saw that he was down the block. She said when he looked back and saw that she had come out, he decided to start yelling, among other things, bitch, I don't want you, stupid whore, I'm not ugly. I'm not ugly.
Y'all, I think it's just so creepy how he specifically took the time to mention that he works at a women's shelter. And then she proceeds to answer, and he cuts her off and says, battered women's shelter. So to me, it's almost like he's trying to send a subliminal message. Like it's almost like it comes off as threatening to me. Like he's trying to threaten her. And he's trying to tell her what he likes, which is battered women. He likes women to be battered, assuaged. I don't know. My intuition and my senses just were tingling out of control with the way he did that in such a menacing way. And come to find out in the updated video that we're going to see, he actually doesn't even work with battered women necessarily. Like it's a shelter for women with children. So the fact that he went out of his way to say battered women, ladies, we got to start paying attention to every single word and every single action of every single male, which is why it's easier just to stay away from all of them. And that way the ones that are acting weird, we can pick out really, really quickly, because he's essentially threatening her when he said that. That's what he was doing. Okay. The way he kept talking in circles, trying to gaslight and confuse her. And I'm so glad she recorded it. Yep, that's another really important point. Gots to record everything. He is Jason Martin 197 on here. Yeah, that is him. If you go on his page, he actually didn't even delete the video that she asked him to delete, because he posted it. That's right. He posted it, girl, on his account. So he was taping her and posted her without her consent on his account. His name is Jason Martin. He commented and then deleted his comments on his profile. He didn't really delete it. He was commenting as a different profile, because I looked through that thing and there was one profile that kept responding to people and saying unhinged things. Pretty sure that was him using a different profile underneath a different name, girl. Those glasses look like a recording device too. They really do, don't they? That guy is so creepy looking. He's so ugly and creepy. He got those eyes. I know. He totally has those eyes. That's why I left it in the comments. I was like, yeah, the first thing I thought of is like, he looks like someone that would literally lock you up in a basement, girl. He looks like one of those guys that would literally have you locked up underneath ground in a basement somewhere. Literally. Like, look at that. What a creep. Yeah, people tell us just tell them no or go away. That guy literally looks so dangerous. That's what we're having to deal with. So we have to get weapons. We have to get weapons, ladies. So that way we have adequate protection, because we would need weapons regardless, because males typically are not enough to protect you. Most of them are scared of each other even. So get some weapons. You can't be better protected by anyone else if you have a weapon that will protect you better than anything and anyone else ever could. Okay. If it's a video of himself, then why the heck is it zoomed in so far? So she's talking about the video, because when he flipped the video, like his phone, that thing was zoomed in all the way. So I wonder what he was looking at. Why was it zoomed in all the way? What were you looking at? And then he tried to claim that it was a video of himself, which doesn't make sense. So they've contacted the shelter, and it turns out he really does work at that shelter. So like an idiot, he like told on himself. Yeah, he has the camera zoomed in even. He's even pitching a tent. Yes, he was. I noticed, that was the first thing I noticed as soon as I opened the video. I noticed he was pitching a whole tent, y'all. And I was on Facebook the other day. This is a side note. This is how like airheaded these women that are going to continue to get assuaged by males without wanting, just because they don't want to admit to themselves what the true nature of males are. It's like, there was this lady that when I was still working in corporate years ago, she came up on my suggested Facebook thing. And I don't really use Facebook. It's like once in a blue moon. I do have some family on there, but I don't really use it. So I got on this particular time and it popped up with suggested friends, and her profile popped up. And I click on her profile. I was like, oh, I know this lady. Like I used to work with her. She was a super douche to me. Older lady. I think she was super like low-key jealous, because she was always just so difficult to deal with. She made my life so difficult. And it was like an older Black lady. And she always wore these contacts and was always trying to fit in with all the YT people. It was weird. The whole thing was very strange. So I clicked on her profile. I was like, oh, I know this lady. And the first picture I see, it's like her husband, and a bunch of kids. But then, she's sitting down, her husband is sitting down, there's a kid in between them, and then there's like a really, really young looking girl sitting on his lap, on the husband's lap. And the husband's hand is like on the girl's hip area, copping the biggest feel on this potential minor that I've ever seen, right in front of the camera. And she like posted it on Facebook. Didn't think anything of it. I was like, this male is literally copping the biggest feel. And I don't know if that's her daughter. I don't know who that is. But she looked like a minor, and she looked so uncomfortable too. Like you could tell she was kind of like scrunching, and like you could kind of tell her smile was a little bit forced. She looked super uncomfortable, and he was just copping the biggest feel ever on that kiddo. And she posted it on her Facebook, made it like a background picture on her Facebook and everything. Right there. And these are the type of things I'm saying, like, women will literally feed their children to males just so they can say that they have a male around. So with this guy, anyway, bringing it back to this guy, he's literally pitching a tent. This is what we're talking about, y'all. Okay? Literally. His defensiveness says everything. Yep. Wow, look how zoomed in he had it. Yep. So true. Because before I saw that, I don't even think I noticed the zoom until I started looking at the comments. It's crazy, y'all. So yeah, let me know what you think. Leave it in the comments below.
So I have updates on this, several updates actually. We're going to go through those. But I can tell you, we have confirmed who he is. And I had it several different ways. But always the best way is when the person themselves says, yes, that is me. And that's what happened last night, because he has a TikTok. And he thought it'd be a good idea to crawl into the comment section of my video about him and leave like 200 unhinged comments where he gave his full legal name and just would say rambling weird things and call me an ambulance chaser and acknowledge that's definitely me, just with his version of events, which is essentially saying, I saw her picking her teeth, so I was recording her picking her teeth. He's acknowledging he was recording her, by the way. Multiple comments asking who I am, asking people to ask him questions, mistyping my username multiple times, calling me a disgrace. He also went so far as to post his phone number and his email address, which I have deleted. I have more updates on him, but first, he was only part of the problematic behavior in my comment section, because there was an awful lot of victim blaming. And for the people who did that, he was happy to agree with y'all. So there's that. But we're going to go through some of the excuses people made for him and have a teachable moment. So first was, I think maybe he wasn't recording her. Maybe he was recording himself. In the video, I only see him pointing the phone at himself. Let's use some critical thinking, shall we? He at first claimed that he was recording himself. You do that with the front-facing camera, like I am right now. You don't use the back camera, like he is. Also, that back camera is zoomed in. You can see how he has it, and it's just getting his mouth. That would be a stupid, weird way to record yourself. Plus, she said, I don't like you having footage of me, delete it. And he responded, I'm not going to post it publicly. Once again acknowledging, much like he did in the comments. Oh, and then there's also the fact that he's all chubbed up when he first starts interacting with her. I guess he really likes people picking their teeth. Then there's, why is she even talking to him? Just drive off. Let's look at the logic that's there. She stopped to go to a business where she had business. She parked so she could go inside. Then he came up, and by this logic, you're saying, if a guy comes up to you and you're there for business, you should be the one who leaves. You should drive away. You are the one who has to interrupt your day because of him. Fuck no. You should record him. You should shame him 100% of the time, which also goes to all the people who are like, it's not illegal to record someone in public. That's not a crime. No, that itself is not a crime. However, doing that mixed with other behavior can get you charged with harassment. And him following her into the cafe and refusing to leave and then yelling at her certainly bodes well for harassment. But let me tell you why it's a good thing she did record. In it, he has some concerning behavior, and he states his name, as well as the fact that he works at what he calls a battered woman shelter. It's not a battered woman shelter so much as it's a shelter for homeless women who have children that he claimed to work at. He does work there. When I made the video, I sent it to that facility's Instagram, and they responded to me. The safety of our women and families we serve is our highest priority. The individual in the video is employed by UGM and does not work directly in our women's shelter, but in the kitchen, occasionally serving the Women and Family Center. As a result of this video, we are conducting a thorough internal investigation. The individual involved has been suspended while we investigate. He has been suspended. And to Robert, who likes to go by Jason, or Jay Wolf online is one you really liked, right, Jason? Because you like wolves, apparently. Yeah, he's been suspended, and all those comments he left, all those unhinged, weird comments, those have been sent to your employer, too, which I'm sure will be part of the investigation, and don't bode well for you. I've had at least 2 people comment that they swear they've seen him in someone else's video bothering a woman. I have not seen that video. I'm not saying that he's done that. But imagine that that is true. Imagine this person potentially being around vulnerable women and children with this very not okay behavior. If she hadn't recorded him, if she hadn't sent it to me, if we hadn't posted that, no one at that facility, none of his employers would know he behaves that way. Always record, always confront as long as you can safely do so. No one should be able to treat someone that way and try and make them feel uncomfortable and just get away with it.
Walmart is starting to fuck around, and it looks like they might be starting to find out. You know, they gave all this money to the Trump campaign, and I've understood for years and decades that Walmart is part of this evil corporate empire, and it's not really a place that I shop. But they have given all this money to Trump, supported his campaign, and now they're starting to roll back all their DEI initiatives throughout their stores and pulling back on the promises they made in the wake of George Floyd's murder. Now, some places, it's not a huge thing, but they're starting to talk about boycotts, and they're boycotting these stores. Now, some people are saying their Walmarts are packed, some people are saying their Walmarts are empty. I highly doubt that they're empty, because this world and country is still run by, the greed and the wants of us buying a bunch of stuff on Black Friday. I totally get that. That's what we've been built as consumers, but I think we are starting to become smarter, more thoughtful shoppers. And if you have the opportunity to shop at a place that recognizes your values, or you have the opportunity to shop at a place that promotes somebody that you find to be absolute pure evil and you don't believe in what they support, why are we going to shop at Walmart anymore? So I think people are really going to start using their money as the weapon, and I think that's a great thing to do. It's a great way to fight back. So if you don't agree with what Walmart's doing and rolling back their initiatives and giving into the right wing, then we have the power to fight back through our wallets. So just understand that Walmart, you're probably going to find out in some form or fashion pretty soon.
That's quite the hot take you have there, sports. Even by the standards of alpha bro grifters who just, post shitty videos with edgy things in them to try and get attention, in place of having a personality. Even by those standards, this one reached for the stars. But there are common themes in a lot of your videos. Shitting on feminism. It's not even possible for men to cheat more than women. A man needs to have money to cheat. A woman only needs to be alive, because I clearly hate women. Clearly hate women. Lots of videos screaming insecurity. If your woman talks to or even looks at another guy, dump her. So your girlfriend must have a fantastic life with you. But then there's also this stuff. All my girlfriend's neurotic lib friends are getting right-wing boyfriends and becoming happy for the first time in their lives. This must be studied. Bullshit, but sure. But it was enough to have me take a look at you, to try and figure out what's Jeff all about. And what I found is that Jeff is a hypocrite and kind of a fucking fraud. For example, on your TikTok and your Instagram, you have links. And that first link there is to an app called Quitter that helps you quit porn. Now, I'm assuming you make money from this, and it's okay if you don't like porn or don't think you should do porn. But you have another link there, and that link takes you to this page, Jeff's Club, where you can pay a subscription to quit porn. Now, I'm assuming you make money from this, and it's okay if you don't like porn or don't think you should do porn. But you have another link there, and that link takes you to this page, Jeff's Club, where you can pay a subscription fee to see you sweaty cuts currently bowed down. Oh, it's you wearing very little clothing and showing off for money. But it's probably just to motivate the boys who want to get swole, right? That's what you're doing there. You're definitely not doing that other thing that there's a term for it. Not doing that, right, Jeff?
Yeah, he's a homo. He's gay. So that's what we started with at the beginning of the video. I mean, at this point, we can't afford niceties. You know what I mean? Like, we can't afford to pretend like we don't see what we're seeing. Okay, like if he's a male, if it's a male and he hates women, I keep telling y'all, he's gay. He's a homo. He's on the DL. Point blank, period, in the most literal sense possible. So he's saying all these things and he hates women so much and thinks that women have all these privileges and it's so easy for us because we could literally get a man whenever we want. We don't have to actually have money to get one. And meanwhile, he's saying all those things and jealous about that because he's a man that likes other men. And on top of that, he's on the DL because he has a girlfriend, knowing that he's gay, knowing that he posts explicit content for other men. So this commenter said, yeah, he blamed the parent that stayed. That's what they usually do. And the parent that stays is usually who? The mother. Okay. It's the dead eyes for me. Yeah, you can tell that this kid is obviously depressed. And how could you not be when you spend all your time in the closet? Like, just come out the closet. Just come out the closet. I was in the middle of typing this comment, but then I was like missing the video. And I was like, let me tape the video first. And now I don't even really remember what I was going to put in there in the first place. Okay. My dad left when I was 6 months old, and he has spent the last 44 years denying my existence and not paying child support when I was a kid. So how's my mom to blame for that? Yep. Exactly. It's amazing how idiots blame women for anything, including raising kids on their own after the father walks out. These males have been hurt, and instead of dealing with it, they just spew misogyny. Well, they can't deal with it when they're trying to hide what they are. I mean, you like other males. You're on the DL. So there's no way you can even begin to deal with the misogyny and everything else that's inherent within you when you haven't even dealt with the surface level that everyone can see. And you're still denying, even though everyone can see it.
You effed around, now you're going to find out. And I want to talk about what you're going to find out during the months and years ahead of the Trump presidency. First thing you're going to find out is the President of the United States does not control grocery prices. That's determined by distributors who bring food to market. And they get the food from farms. And those farms, well, they employ undocumented immigrants and migrant farm workers, and they pay them pretty low wages, but those hardworking people are glad to have that money to send home to provide for their families. Well, once those people all get rounded up and deported, well, these farms are going to have to hire white people and pay them at least a minimum wage. This is going to cost the farms a lot more money, so they're going to have to raise the price of products. What's even worse, a lot of these people, they've had farms in their family for decades. Some of these farms, they're going to go out of business because they won't be able to compete with the large farms that are subsidized by the United States government. So not only are you not getting lower prices, but you're putting your neighbors out of business. Oops.
So leave in the comments, let me know what your thoughts are, but this is insane. This is insane. And this is just the first round. I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye.